Perfect.
7, 12. Have fun figuring that one out. There's not 12 people. Idiot. Got him.
Stupid, dumb editor Elijah won't know how many people to edit.
But he'll never know. He's too dumb to know.
All wings report in.
HouseDog, standing by.
MotherGoose, standing by.
Lowtech Tuck, standing by.
Lock S foils in attack position. Animal Squadron ready for battle.
Well, hello there, and welcome back to the Animal Squadron podcast. I'm your host, HouseDog, and with me, as always, my favorite co-host, MotherGoose.
Hello, everybody.
All right, Andor, Season 1, Episode 2. Let's get it rocking this week.
Yeah. Episode 2. That was me. Season 1.
That's right. Another week of just me and Elijah, as it should be. The thing we always wanted to get back to eventually.
Yeah, just us, nobody else. I'm not sad at all.
Yeah, Tuck's officially retired from the show, everybody. He didn't even want to come on and tell you bye.
Tuck actually said that he hated everyone who's ever listened to the podcast.
Any of his supporters ever.
Even Mac's mom, that one was rough.
Yeah, even my mom said she liked the show better without Tuck. And I have the text to prove it. That's the funny part.
Yeah, no, she totally didn't say it was so much better when Tuck joined. Anyone who says that is a liar, liar, pants on fire.
No, she said the show was better without Tuck and that your pirate impression sucks, which is true. My mom did say that.
Well, I think Mac died. Hey, Tuck, welcome to the show.
At least my camera didn't freeze. Got him. Been here the whole
freeze
time.
Camera guy.
Freeze camera guy. Freeze camera guy. Loser. Bedwetter.
Actually, the reason why my connection's great, it's probably the fact that Elijah's on the other side of the country.
I don't know.
I only ever lag whenever I'm in a call with you.
Because actually, I'm further away from Elijah, and my connection's fine. So
yeah, Tucker's camera didn't freeze.
It's because I'm the midpoint. Tucker's using me.
I bet that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yep. Because satellites care for sure.
Yeah, that's how that works.
That bit went on really long, but Tucker, I'm so glad you're back. I missed you.
I didn't. I wish you were still gone.
Did you guys see when I muted myself? And I was yelling at you? Yeah. Yep.
No,
Yes.
because you're not a real person to me.
Fingers were pointed. Which ones? I won't say.
I said you're both number one, and I may or may not have used a different finger.
But yes, we are talking about Andor episode 2. Tucker, real quick, 1 out of 5. What would you rank episode 1, saying you weren't here?
That's a tough one, because I actually haven't seen that episode since it aired, to be honest with you.
Just went straight into 2?
Yeah.
Hey, that's fair.
Yeah, because I mean, I binged the whole thing when it came out, and I was like, oh, well, I'll just watch the episodes as we record. Yeah, so I don't know. I can't really give you one and tell you the truth, but I'm going to say 4.
Hell yeah. I think that's a good rating. Yeah. Sorry for putting you on the spot like that.
If I have to lie and give you a number, I'm just going to say 4. I think that sounds good.
Hell yeah. I think the Andor fans they'll appreciate it.
Is that high? Is that low? I don't know.
Could be.
What's that scale on?
I said 1 to 5, didn't I? Or maybe said it in my brain.
Yeah, but also knowing Elijah, it's probably 5 is the worst and 1 is the best.
Yeah.
He would flip it on me like that. He's a tricky guy.
I tricked you.
He's a tricky guy. Basically ISB material, if you ask me.
In post, I'm just going to add in really quick me saying 5 is the worst, 1's the best.
Wow, Tucker, I can't believe you'd say that you hate Andor that much.
Wow, this guy doesn't even know that it's the best filmed Star Wars project ever.
I think we should get rid of him, Elijah. I think permanently. I think we fix this.
So that really is that really your opinion? This is the best Star Wars project ever?
I don't know if I would say it's the overall the best Star Wars project ever, but I do strongly believe in terms of cinematography alone, it is the best.
Can't argue with you there. That's all right.
All Star Wars is done really well in terms of cinematography and special effects, but there's just so much love and care that went into this project. It's probably my favorite part of Andor.
Yeah,
You heard it here first. Elijah loves the sequel trilogy. He said the cinematography and all the special effects and everything's really good. I can't believe he's finally changed his ways.
I'm pretty sure I said that I enjoy, if there was one thing I said I enjoyed about the sequel trilogy, it probably was the cinematography.
Yeah, I will say, actually, one thing I do really like about Andor in general is I love how subtle it is. Like, as far as the writing goes, pretty perfect for a spy or thriller kind of thing. I like it.
Yeah. Tony and his team of writers and directors, they trust the audience. They trust that the audience can put stuff together, and you can really feel that throughout the series.
Yeah, that's why I like. Like I said, I think it's subtle in the nicest way possible. I like it.
I would like to talk about the contact, if you guys are okay with that.
Sure.
He finally shows up.
And I could have swore that this guy was the same guy from Rogue One that tells Cassian to kill the main lead's dad. I can't remember what her name is at the moment. I could have swore he was the same guy, and everyone was making predictions. They were like, I think the contact's gonna die in season 2. And I was like, dum-dums? He's literally in Rogue One. But 'twas I the dum-dum. They are not the same person.
Who was it in the movie?
Yeah, it's a totally different white man with blonde hair.
Really?
Damn white men with blonde hair.
It's not even the same actor?
Yeah. Not the same actor, not the same character. Just really, really threw me off.
Yeah, dude, they really look, as far as in my mind, they look really similar.
Yeah, they do. They play very similar roles. The kind of morally ambiguous rebel leader who will do whatever it takes to win. Years I thought they were the same person.
Me too, dude. Me too. That's crazy.
I literally was I saw people talking about it online, how they weren't the same person. And I was like, no. And I started watching Rogue One again, and I just sat there in shame. Because I realized I've been wrong.
Shame.
It's almost like nobody studied the source material before doing the show.
Maybe. I only remember his first name, the director, writer, or not director, producer, Tony something starts with a G.
Tony
He's
Lamas.
done interviews saying that this is his favorite project
That he's ever
gotten
done?
to work on. Yeah.
That's cool.
Even if he didn't study the source material, he clearly loved this project a lot, and I think that's really cool.
I was talking about us.
Oh. Yeah, you're right.
Because everyone here was convinced that guy was in Rogue One.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
thought he was too.
It's kind of as Star Wars goes on, man, it gets harder and harder to study the source material before stuff like this. Because it's who has time to watch a 2-hour movie and then a 40-minute episode and then and then record an hour-long pod? That's just kind of hard to do. So
people are dedicated.
I guess I'm not dedicated.
This is why you're leaving. This is why you're retiring.
Call me lazy, I guess.
Wait, if Tuck has to retire for this, then we do too? I guess this is the end of the show, guys. Good run. 120 episodes, not too bad, gang.
Not too bad.
Okay, sorry, I know I kind of got us on a little bit of a tangent there before we even started actually reviewing. What did you guys think of the episode?
I liked it. I think it's really solid setup.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say too. Is a very it was a setup episode, which isn't the worst thing.
It's the rising action. We're
Oh,
working our
something
way
was
towards that
rising.
climax.
In Timmy's pants whenever Bix came over that night.
It was totally Timmy who snitched, right?
Oh yeah.
On Andor.
Oh, dude. Actually, on that note, you know something I loved is the Star Wars payphones.
Right?
Yeah. I was like, I just never thought about that. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, because we've never really seen those. It's always been like HoloNet calls.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But not like Morse code, type your message type stuff.
Yeah, well, and also I guess maybe it is something that's just only in sketchy places, which is why you don't see it. But because that other guy, that guy was for sure selling drugs or soliciting a prostitute or something bad. He was not doing something moral, I don't think.
What if he was calling
Probably
his
not.
family back home, Tucker? What if he's on a work program and he
What if
sends
he
all
missed
of his
his
money
mother?
back to his home planet?
Oh yes, because everyone, the second someone walks up to you when you're talking to your family, you immediately get quieter and turn toward the corner. Yeah, that doesn't look suspicious.
Maybe he's nervous. Maybe he doesn't like people in his
has-
business. Sorry that he doesn't have the money to afford private communications, Tucker.
Sorry has agoraphobia.
You're right. I hate the
You know
poor
what?
and people with phobias. You're right.
You're just a bigot and rude.
Oh yeah,
and
that is true, and a racist, because it is because of his green
racist,
skin.
yes.
It's because of his green
Yes.
skin. That's what it is.
you know,
I just automatically start
if he had blue
profiling.
skin, it would be fine.
Yeah, well, dude, those greenies, man, they're just always doing stuff. Don't even get me started.
Tuck, I don't know what we can really do here, but I think we have to let you go at this point.
I'm just,
Chat, I think I'm gonna have to delete this episode.
I'm an HR liability because my opinion
just-
of quote unquote greenies.
Yeah, it's just we don't really use that kind of language here.
I'm sorry, but I've never met a good one. That's just all I'm saying. That's just all
Yeah,
I'm
we
saying.
we really can't promote those viewpoints here.
Yeah,
on
it's
the,
like
show.
yeah, Martha in accounting, the Twi'lek with green skin. She heard your comments, and that really upset her. Yep. So Martha snitched on me, huh? That's what they all
not
do.
all aliens
That's
with
what
green
they all
skin are
do.
the same species.
They're always snitching.
and stealing and robbing.
Just listen, just our luck. The AI chapter tag's gonna be something like "Never met a good one."
I really hope it is, dude. That would be so funny. Oh.
Sometimes that AI chat hits, and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, dude. Sometimes we get just bangers like Milky's message. That was so cool.
Milky's message.
I want to look back and make a tier list of all the chapters that AI has created for the show.
That would be a funny
Hell yeah.
mini episode. That would be funny.
I'd be down. But this episode, Mac, you brought up Bix. I do think it was funny that B kind of teased Cassian about having a crush on Bix.
Yeah, well, I mean, that brings up the whole, we're kind of everywhere this episode. We finally get to, meet his mom, fully.
Right. She was just talked about last episode.
Yeah, she was just talked about, and we got, a single shot of her, but not really of her doing anything or saying anything.
Yeah.
In this one, we actually get to meet his mom. I really liked her as this season goes on.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed her character. But here, I really like the sense of urgency she has whenever Cassian finally comes home.
Mm-hmm.
And, he's obviously trying to lie to her about everything that's gone on, and she just calls him out on it, and she's like, what's really going on? Because they're looking for somebody, and you're the only person, from this planet in the entire sector, so...
Also, to our main man, B2 Emo doesn't want to snitch, but she makes him. She's like, read it! Read it!
That's right. That's right. B ain't no snitch. He a real one.
I think this section or this part really emphasized Cassian's inability to take accountability for himself, We kind of talked about this last episode when Bix calls him out and he says, well, no, you too. And he kind of does the same thing here when his mom says, okay, who have you told? Let's make a list so we can, sort this out. And he's like, he gets really defensive and is like, well, who have you told?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's fair, though.
I think so. I think maybe he's panicking, right? He's kind of freaking out about everything going on. He's stressed. Is he necessarily right to have that tone with his adopted mother? Probably not, but I get it under the stress that he's in.
Around?
Over.
Beside? On top of?
Down. Left.
Bop it.
All around. Spin it. Pull it.
Twist it.
I like that about
Bop it.
Cassian's character, though. Because he even acts like that in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's a bad thing. I like that he calls people out whenever they're like, you're doing this. And he's just like, yeah, but you're doing the exact same thing. So don't talk to me. I'm Cassian Andor. Murderer.
There's a strong sense of character with Cassian. Not that he's always right. He always feels like Cassian.
Yeah, he knows who he is.
Mm-hmm.
There's not that question there.
I was going to say, on the note of the killing, I do think it's kind of interesting. Just, we see a lot in this episode of already corruption in the Empire, even though it's like still in its infancy. There's already a lot of corruption. Like, for instance, I forget the guy's name. Not the officer, but the Scottish guy. Well, he sounds Scottish. He's not Scottish because Scotland doesn't exist in Star Wars. But
right,
the guy comes in. He's like, at your service, sir, blah, blah, blah. And he alludes to that whenever whenever like lower level people in this detail get killed, that oftentimes it gets covered up.
Mm-hmm.
And then oftentimes they don't even investigate it. What's he said? He's like, it's the dangers of the wait to hear backs and the we'll sees. Maybe it's something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. It was a really good line.
Mm-hmm.
They're fomenting, sir. They're fomenting.
They're fomenting. That's right.
Yeah, Cyril. I had to look up what his name was. I literally had to look it up.
That's the
last
officer guy
episode
with the
as
dark
well.
hair. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's such a
Deputy Inspector. Okay.
yes.
You will
Put some
respect
respect
his
on his
authority.
name for sure.
His authority.
It's such a big contrast from the last episode where all the people under him were like, this guy Loki sucks butt.
Yeah.
And then the Scottish guy comes in and is then kissing the butt.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he's just under him, though. Like, he's
Yeah.
reaching for that next rung while Cyril's reaching for the next rung.
Mm-hmm.
And
If Cyril
so
gets
on
promoted,
the-
maybe he will too.
Yeah, so on the
Yeah.
corporate ladder goes.
It's just what Cyril needed to hear. Somebody
But they're fomenting.
agreeing with him in his craziness.
That dude did have some hard lines in this, though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What else does he say? He says like, the sharper the tool, the more we need to use it, or something like that. And it's like, whoa, that's pretty powerful.
Yeah, to keep the
Yeah.
sword sharp, you have to use it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And talking about like the wheels of justice and just like random stuff, and I'm like, this guy's kind like, he's a dweeb, but he's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they wrote him some really good stuff. Like he is completely bought into the propaganda 100%.
Wait,
like
do you think he's that guy that like, and you know what I'm talking about, the dude who like posts stuff on social media with like, I have 2 wolves and they're fighting over control of me. Which one do you feed? Or like, so something that's like kind of hard, and there's always like a wolf picture or a picture of the Joker. Like, you know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah.
I think he wears really cool shirts with a lot of words on them. Like,
Yeah. Like he's
I
kind
am a Southern trucker. If you ate food today, you better thank me. And if you don't, I'll kick your ass.
Oh yeah, yeah. We all know a guy like that. Yeah, just your local edgelord, and I like it.
I'm a God-fearing, truck-driving, fishing son of a gun. But my granddaughters call me Peepaw.
If you feed me to the wolves, I'll come back leading them.
If you feed me to the wolves, I'll come back pregnant. What?
I've never heard that one. That's really funny.
I think he just made it.
Oh my gosh.
No, I wish I could take credit for it, but that was not me.
That's really funny. Honestly, I'm gonna have to think about that. That was really, that's really funny. Whew. All right.
Okay, but this guy, he is loyal. He's loyal to the Empire, and he's loyal to Cyril. Because like when Cyril gives a speech, and everyone obviously hates it, he could have used that opportunity to like boost himself up, make himself look better in front of the other guys. Nah, he starts clapping. He had Cyril's back.
That's right.
Oh, dude, that speech. I'm so glad you brought that up because that was one of the worst moments. Like, do you ever see those like videos or TikToks where it's like top 10 cringy moments?
Oh yeah.
And like you get that cringe adjacent or whatever it's called where like you feel gross because of what you're watching. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was definitely one of those moments where you're just like you feel embarrassed. What is it? Secondhand embarrassment or whatever it's called?
Yeah.
Where you feel embarrassed for them. That was so bad. That guy can plan anything, but he is not good for rousing the troops.
Okay, me neither, Cyril. Me neither.
Me neither. But also, I mean, like, you know, I think it was also meant to show that at the moment he doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah.
And he is kind of like just a shell of what he could be.
Yeah.
We're gonna get out there and spin the wheels of justice, and we're gonna get him.
We're gonna be respected. And our moms are gonna be proud of us for once.
And they're not gonna make us eat cereal for dinner.
Another really important line or interaction from that, or these two speeches, though, is the Scottish guy is telling the soldiers or guards, whatever, if anyone has a problem with us being here, remember to tell them there's a monthly form that they can complain to.
Yeah, that goes hard.
Put that on a t-shirt too. Yeah.
But just the fact that all of them kind of started laughing, like knowing that, yeah, we're not going to read this.
Yeah.
Scottish guy definitely tells you, like that line about the complaint department. He definitely hands you a form and goes, there's a complaint department right there where you can turn it in, and it's a trash can.
Yeah. And he probably has that thing on his desk that like that maybe you guys will see where it's like a grenade on a board, and it's like in case of complaint, pull number, and there's like a number on the pin. Like, have you ever seen that?
This guy is definitely the
Yeah.
the Two Wolves t-shirt guy.
Oh yeah, yeah. Or he may even be a step above, and it may be like two iguanas on like a black t-shirt, like staring at the moon. Maybe one of those.
Howling.
Yeah, they're two iguanas howling. Oh, if we ever make merch, that's gotta be a merch. It's gotta be a t-shirt.
It's
Dude.
gotta
My complaint department is a trash can.
I really like this interaction between Cyril, this guy, and their men. Moving back to Andor, though, we see him prepping to leave, right? He's talking to B2, letting him know that, hey, I'm going to get you some money. He's trying to find a ship off planet. He's being sneaky. Don't worry about what's the cargo is.
Dead bodies.
Bodies.
Where are the bodies, Garth?
Yours. Garnick, I think was his name, the little alien that was with
Garlic.
the ship. Garlic, maybe? That was just like the whole time. It was so funny. I loved him.
I wanted him to die, so.
That's how you know he was cool. That's how you know.
That's how you know he was great.
He was annoying.
It's the highest compliment Mac's capable of giving. So enjoy it,
Well, then
Garnick.
I
Enjoy
really
it.
don't want you to die, Tuck. I want you to live forever.
That hurts. I hope you take that back.
Over my dead body. The real star of the household.
That's right.
You know what? She can be on the show, not you.
Nicole on the podcast win.
That's right.
Yeah, tell her right now. You're being replaced.
Hey.
They want you to be on the podcast instead of me.
Okay, that's fair.
You down for that?
I'm funnier than you.
That is true. You are funny.
Damn. That's
Dang.
rough.
Hi, Macaroon.
Hi, I miss you.
They can hear me pretty good.
Yeah, he said he misses you.
Oh, because of this.
Yeah.
I miss you too. You too, Elijah.
Miss you
She
too.
told me first. She told
That's
me
not
first.
Elijah. That's
Lizzie.
I
LL
know.
Cool J. That's my boy.
Yeah, put some respect on my name.
Yeah. He said put some
She
respect
told
on
me
his name.
first. She told me first. She told me
Yeah.
first.
I
Afterthought.
know.
Afterthought.
I was an
afterthought.
afterthought. It's fine. I'm fine. I'm just gonna cry in the shower later.
Hey, wait, are you crying about my wife, dude?
No,
Are you crying about my wife, dude?
I'm crying about Mac being the favorite. It's different.
They're fomenting. They're fomenting, Tuck. They're fomenting.
But yeah, what did you guys think?
Cassian's being a secret little... I don't know. There wasn't much going on in this episode, really. We haven't talked about any of the flashback stuff. Do you guys want to talk about that?
Sure, yeah. His friend.
I mean, there's really
dies.
not much there either. I mean, we do learn through his flashbacks, and actually, I guess this does kind of lead into what you were talking about with the little alien guy. We get that shot in the flashback that obviously Cassian's homeworld, whenever he was a boy, was strip mined at some point, which leads into this conversation with Garlic and other guy about finding out that the Empire strip mined his planet. There was an accident, and then they left, and just left it completely messed up.
Right? Didn't they say it was? At least they thought it was uninhabitable, something like that.
I think so. I don't remember. Well, it was just that there was no point in going back after the accident for the Empire. Like, they had strip mined it, the accident happened, and they left, and that was it.
Yeah. Which makes me curious if it is like there's some sort of gas that's making the air toxic. How are Cassian, Arcasa, and his people breathing the air? Like, did they adapt to it? Did they get some sort of a cure? Are they slowly just being poisoned? And all of his friends are dead, and he's only alive because he was lucky enough to get taken off planet?
Maybe it was the trees.
Kind of purifying the air a little bit, keeping them safe.
Yeah, because they live in, like, the forest area, right?
Yeah, that's a good point.
When did they say the air was poisoned? Did I miss that?
I thought that's what made the planet. That's like what the Empire did. Is they made it the air toxic, but I could be wrong. Maybe I misheard.
I don't know. Where's Garlic when you need him?
Where is Garlic? But yeah, what did you guys think of his flashback chapter? I keep saying chapter like it's a book. Flashback scenes. Got Stormlight on the brain. Sorry.
That's fair, dude. It's fair. I get it.
Pretty much it.
Yeah, I mean, really, the only scenes I can think of is just they're walking through the woods to the wreck, and then they have they think that the guys are dead, and then the one wakes up, shoots the friend, and then they all just pelt him with a bunch of poison darts.
The 50 darts into the guy.
Guys looking like a
Listen.
pincushion.
He killed their friend. He worked for the Empire. He probably was a bad person. Probably deserved to die. But man, what a way to go.
Yeah.
We don't know that he works for the Empire.
Also, I bet he
They
felt.
had Imperial crests on their shoulders, didn't they?
Anybody can put on uniform, Elijah. The rebels have been doing it for years.
You know what? You're right. I'll eat my word. This guy was a rebel. And Cassian's people killed him, and that's why the rebellion took another 20 years to win. He would have saved the day in a different timeline.
Maybe they're pirates, Elijah.
Maybe.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, as far as how he went, I mean, I bet he was like so high when he died. Just as far as like how, like with all that poison in his bloodstream, dude, he was probably just like, he probably had no idea where he was, and then he just went to sleep.
It just,
Yeah.
I really thought I'd forgotten this scene. So when I was watching it again, I was like, okay, 1 or 2 darts are hit. He'll pass out. That'll be it. It'll be it. And then he just kept getting hit over and over and over again.
Like, dude was literally covered by the time he finally went down.
Yeah. I thought the actors did really good. I mean, they're children actors speaking in a fake language. At least I think it's a fake language.
How
and
dare
yet
you.
they still really portrayed the emotion well of losing their friend. They're worried if there are any other Imperials around. They got to get her to safety. Did anyone else get hurt? I don't know. I think they did a really good job with this scene.
Yeah, like the first girl that whenever she speaks, whenever she turns around, I mean, like, she doesn't say this. I mean, what she says is nonsense, but you almost can see it in her face and stuff. Like, what she's yelling is, she's dead.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's just kind of like, I don't know. It's just weird how that works. I mean, like, there's no way you can understand what they're saying, but.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guess you guys haven't studied your languages enough then.
Sorry, Pookie. Is this some really important Star Wars language that we're forgetting about?
No, I have no idea.
Well, just want to make us feel bad. Okay.
Are you withholding information
All
from
right.
us? Because we'll make you sing like a canary.
Yeah. Yeah.
Solid pun. Solid pun. That was good.
Bring Nicole back, please.
Okay, we should talk about Timmy a little bit.
Timmy.
I know I brought this up earlier, but
Timmy,
do you guys think he's the one that turned Cassian in?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think he is. That's why I think the payphone scene exists. It's to show that, I think.
Yeah, he definitely called it in. There's no doubts about that.
What jealousy does to a man. It's not a good color on you, Timmy.
Timmy!
I don't even get what is he so... Biggs came to his house
That's what I'm saying.
and immediately tried to bone him. Like,
Well-
within 30 seconds of being in the door, he was like, do you want something to drink? She's like, I've already had enough. Now come on.
In his defense, not that it was right, but I think he would have called the Empire before then, right? Because he asks her on a date, and she says no, but we can go tomorrow. And then he sees the message. So maybe he was already feeling a little insecure. She turned him down. Then he saw the message.
I also think, though, that
Maybe a
he's...
call went out.
I also think that he's definitely following her.
Oh, yeah. He does not trust her.
Little stalker vibes.
And so also, too, whenever he sees her with a Canary man, he's just like, oh, I know how to get this guy out of the picture. Because I'm sure in his mind, he's probably like, you know, he has a thing with Bix, too. So he's like, I know how to get this guy out of the picture. I'm just going to get him thrown in prison.
Which I think
what
is
I
an
think he's doing.
interesting conversation point because, like, okay, yes, Timmy was wrong for calling these people to get rid of Cassian, but, like, it's not
was
like
he wrong?
it's not
Cassian
like he was
murdered
crazy.
somebody and manslaughtered somebody else.
That is true. But also, Bix is lying to him. Like, maybe it's not what he thinks, but she is lying and hiding things from him. So, is he justified or morally right? Probably not, but also...
Well, actually, you know what? I would
kinda understand
I would
him.
say he's justified because, like, in his mind, anyway, his actions make sense. Like, they make sense why someone would do that. So I'd say they're justified, but they're not necessarily moral. Is what I would say.
He's being lied to, but he doesn't know what he's being lied to about, and he makes assumptions. And maybe those assumptions are wrong, but he's still being lied to regardless.
Well, you know what they say about assumptions.
It's true.
I don't.
They make an ass out of you and me.
You never heard that?
Now that he says it, I do remember it, but I couldn't. My brain went
Couldn't
blank.
put it. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
He's too busy thinking about Bix.
More like B2 emo.
Ooh,
Am I right,
the
fellas?
prettiest girl in all the land.
The prettiest girl at the party.
Now I have to kill B2.
No. No.
While you watch.
And after Matt kills him, he's like, I'm the prettiest girl at the party. How dare you?
I'm the prettiest princess.
I don't want you, but you have to want me. That's how this works.
Whenever homeboy, the contact, is coming in to the city, and the dude on the bus is just like trying to talk to him over and over again, and he's just like looks at him and looks like doesn't even talk to the dude, I think he only says that one line at the end to him, right? Like he doesn't say anything to him until then, and that guy just keeps talking to him.
Mm-hmm.
Just trying to make a friend.
Kind of seems like
just trying to make a friend.
a little worm to me. That guy seems like a little worm.
No, you
the
could
guy on the bus.
You can always believe anyone who sits next to you on the bus. They always want to be your friend. That's all it is. There's never any sort of bad intentions ever.
They're not Imperial spies because the Empire wouldn't do that to us.
Yeah.
They trust the people.
The Empire's your friend.
The Empire loves you and has your best intention in mind.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so does everyone on the bus and everyone on the internet as well.
Yeah. If somebody asks you for your social security number, give it to them. They just want to know. They want to get to know you better.
Well, and they want to
Also,
help
for legal
they want to
reasons, that
help
was a
protect your identity. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Also,
Yeah,
for
they're
legal
gonna put
reasons,
it
that's a joke. Yeah.
And just make sure it's safe.
Exactly.
That's right.
Yeah.
But also, that was a joke.
Yeah. We should make that clear. That everything that we said regarding identity theft is not what you should do. Don't do that.
Chat, identity theft is a real problem in our nation, and you have to do everything you can to protect yourself.
That's right.
And that's where we put in our ad whenever we have one day.
And it's like a ASPCA-esque with like, sad music, and we're just telling people to protect their identities.
Have you considered getting a VPN?
In the arms of an
For just $1 a day.
fly away from
You can safely
here.
search for all of the dirty
In
things
the
that you pretend you don't look at.
arms of an
But you can do it
angel.
safely without having to release your information.
We know you don't care about protecting your identity.
In the arms
But if you get our VPN,
of
you can
an
watch
angel
the British version of Netflix, and they have shows that you don't have right now.
from here.
Or Italian
In the
TV. They show
arms
boobs.
I think this should be in our ad, dude. This is perfect.
Seriously, VPN companies, hit us up. We will make you so much money that you will
Or
then share
none.
with us.
At all.
Yeah, or none, maybe. We'll find
But
out.
guess what? We still get paid.
Okay, back to the episode, though. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about? Any other thoughts?
That D's guy was really weird.
Which guy?
D's?
D's nuts?
Dang it.
Yeah. Well, and also that animal in the background, it kind of looked like a Havanese dog, didn't it?
I think it was.
I think Candace had one of those.
No, it's an actual breed though, like Havanese. You know what I'm talking about?
Uh-huh.
That is
sure?
a real dog.
It is a real dog, dude. Actually, it really
I think
is.
Imagine Dragons made a song about them one time.
Bro, I'll Google it. There really is a Havanese dog, for real.
There is.
There really is.
He's not messing
I'm
with
not
you.
even
There
kidding.
is.
There really is a Havanese dog, and it really was in this episode.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Sure.
I'm serious. Wait, hang on.
Having these balls in your face.
No. Look, dude. I'm talking about these little animals right here. Havanese.
God,
That's a dog. We tried to tell you it was a dog.
And you fell for it. Havanese nuts.
Good job,
But
Tuck.
yeah,
We
actually,
got him.
the first
We got him.
actually, real quick anecdote on that note. The first time I was telling my brother about Nicole and I were thinking about getting a second dog, and I was like, "Yeah, like actually, we've been looking at this one dog. Like, we think it might be like part Havanese." And he was like, "No, it's not, dude. No way. No, that's not real. No, dude. No." He's like, "No, dude. No." Like he's just so sure I was trying to mess with him. I was like, "No, I'm serious. I'm totally serious." So anyway.
I'm glad you brought up animals, though, because the stop-motion birds, or maybe not stop-motion, maybe they're puppets, at the very beginning of the episode, I thought were a nice touch. It was like right when the ship guy lets his dogs out, and the camera pans back, and it shows some birds. I just like when Star Wars uses practical effects like that.
Yeah.
This was an interesting opening scene that was shot of like the town like shutting down for the evening.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of
Hammer
it like
guy.
opening up for the day, it was the city closing for the evening.
And actually, he's not
yeah,
Hammer
we
Guy.
didn't talk
He's
about
Bell,
Hammer Guy at
he's
all.
Bellman.
Bellman.
Bellboy.
Bellman.
I would kill for this guy's job. Okay, he gets to put on his noise canceling headphones, stim out a little bit, and go home.
Stim out a little.
Twice a day.
This man was feeling it, right?
Yeah.
He was hitting that bell and just like waving his arms to the rhythm.
He really was, dude. And really stim it out. That's the perfect way to describe it, man.
I want to know what that metal was made out of.
He's risen everybody with the tism, man. I get it.
Exactly.
What a guy.
Listen,
what a guy.
The fact we don't have bell jobs like that is proof that capitalism has failed us.
That's a good point. I think we should all vote differently just based on this one fictional
Yeah.
TV show.
I want a candidate who builds their platform around big bells.
Hello, my name is Elijah, and I'd like to announce my running for the candidacy.
He's not
I need you
even
to ask one question.
he's not even
to
old enough
yourself.
to legally be president.
You like stimming out with your bells?
I may run the economy into the ground, but I promise you, you will have big bells in every city.
That's
in
right.
every
man,
town.
Well, and actually,
woman,
what
and
you-
child.
What you got to start the speech with, though, is my fellow Americans, and then just go and just. But that's the only thing you say in Barack Obama's voice, and then after that, you just take off, man, and just in normal voice right after that.
No, I'll tell you how he opens his speeches. He walks out. The curtains open slowly. It's dark. For whom the bell tolls starts playing.
Oh, dude, I like
Hell
it.
yeah.
And he's doing the Nixon double peace sign the whole time.
Hell yeah.
That's how he's stimming. That's how he's stimming, dude. He's ready. And then at the very end, he does a mic drop of "I am not a crook," and then he just throws the mic into the audience.
No, I am not a clock. And then drops it.
Dude, that's perfect. I am not a clock.
Anyway, if you can't tell, I'm a real big fan of Bell Guy.
He is pretty sick, honestly. That's fair. That's fair.
Bell Guy is Elijah's god at this point in the show. And I think he makes another appearance later in the show.
If anything bad happens to Bell Guy, I'm gonna be so sad.
I will write.
There's a sniper in the watchtower.
Oh man, I hope it's not Bell Guy when he finally snaps. You gotta be
Guys,
careful.
I hope this isn't foreshadowing.
Wait, he wrote me a note that said, "Don't go to work tomorrow. I'm scared."
You're the only one who understands my stimming.
What if Bell Guy, what if this is not the first Bell Guy? Like, the last Bell Guy they had, did have, autism or something, so he was just ringing the bell all day, and that's why they got this guy.
He just couldn't stop himself.
He just couldn't stop. They never knew what time of the day it was. He just wanted to play his bells.
He just got the itch, and we can't blame him.
He would
He's
go up
gotta
there in the
scratch
middle of the
it.
night.
He's got
Just
his- Oh my gosh, dude. Whew.
I think we finally found Elijah's character for the show that we're writing.
Yes.
He's Bell Man.
Let me just be the Bell Guy. I don't
Elijah's
interact
official
with
role,
the other characters at
bell
all.
boy.
Just ring the bell.
That's how we open and close every episode. Elijah at the top of a tower, double hammers raised.
I am struggling to breathe. It's been a while since I've laughed
I was
this
gonna
hard.
say,
Thank you,
we
boys.
gotta stop. This is too funny. Okay.
Okay. I know I already said this before, but just in case, any final thoughts, boys?
No, nothing from me. I'm just trying so hard not to laugh. I'm sorry. Me too. Okay.
Audience, thank you so much for listening. You guys are amazing. If you want to be a part of this conversation, you can send us your comments, complaints, Star Wars theories, whatever, at animalsquadron@gmail.com. Again, that is animalsquadron@gmail.com. We would love to be able to interact with you guys. Also, if you could leave us a review wherever you're listening, that would be amazing. For the Animal Squadron, this has been MotherGoose.
HouseDog.
And Lowtech Tuck with one more final thought. Also, whenever you email us, please feel free to let us know your thoughts on Bell Guy.
Yes, I'd love to hear about Bellboy.
Yep, we love him. We love him. And we will try to tell him whatever you say. So, yeah. Anyways, that's all I got.
Goodbye, everybody.
Adios.
They're fomenting, sir. Goodbye.